from Roban, I think we're about close to 200, maybe 200 kilometers heading southeast, I think, right, roughly. We're in a place in the river here, a place called Yindjibarndi. And up this way, where I'm pointing, which is south, is about a kilometre and a bit, is where the FMG Development Hub project. And we're here today now giving evidence for our compensation claim against FMG. Up that way, where we was yesterday, and we were performing some ceremony, for the judge, so we can establish how the Yindjibarndi are connected to the country. It's one thing saying that this is where we come from, and our old people been here, living for thousands and thousands of years. But the other part of this unfortunate process about proving cultural connection, you have to kind of sometimes dive deeper into our cultural connections, and one of them is obviously our Bundu. So when we performed yesterday for the judge, is to give him an understanding that we are connected through the songlines too, and the songlines are very important. But the songlines, again, is the creation of the Ngura, which again symbolizes that this is how Yindjibarndi are connected, not only to our songline in the first language, but also to our neighboring groups as well. So that was important for us to do. And if you don't do that, then the judge will walk away with this limited understanding. The songline and the culture. And the spiritual connection, you can bundle it all up, and call it that this is the Yindjibarndi religion, right? But it's kind of more than that for the Yindjibarndi. This is what we live every day. This is the cultural, as I said, the cultural connection to our Ngura. So those songs I was singing yesterday and showing him, it makes up this part of the world, this part of the Ngura. And again, how it shows, I think, what the Buddha did back in the creation times, and how it connected, Ngarangani to those songlines, and to those very important places. If the judge don't understand that, then he's going to walk away with limited understanding. So it's not about the money. It's about respecting and recognizing that Yindjibarndi law should be considered when people are doing something like mining operations. Because we can't have this thing operating on our country, making billions of dollars while we live back home in third world conditions, and people every day suffering for just the basic things. What fixes up any nation is putting in a program and a system that moves towards self-determination. There's a pathway of growing people into those opportunities and jobs and also being a contributor to the nation building model, right? So that's how we change things. And you put in good system as well, where we help, with fixing up our housing, education, health, elders, all of that stuff, right? But under the Mining Act, under Section 125A, is that when the state issued the miner the mining lease, the miner then is responsible for any liabilities. So what they're doing, what we're doing now, is dragging them both into the court case, and then you can see as well that they are both having issues as well with who's liable. But that's the relationship that's been happening between the state and the miners the last 60 years. It's been this bipartisan relationship, which I also see it borderlines a real conflict issue. They never once considered, the First Nations place in this whole land, grab and land disturbance and land mining and all that sort of stuff, right? So we come under a Native Title Act that really gives us the rights to negotiate under Section 29, and there's a 6-month period. And after 6 months is up, right, either party can apply to the Native Title Tribunal and ask for a determination on that mining license. But there should be a consideration for First Nations people. And the relationship should be then not a bipartisan one, but a tripartisan one, which is involved the state government, the miner, and the First Nation people. And that way you don't have to go through this whole system of all the time arguing and separating, and once a Ngada put in a native title claim, you become the enemy of the state because they take you after their royalties and stopping them from doing that stuff. And they shouldn't, rightfully know that the law is against us. We got to come here after 13 years, right? and then ask the federal court to then consider a compensation. Professor Peter Beth, right? He said, look, we went down 1.7 meters, right? That gives us a depth and a time frame that we can easily that this cave is anywhere from 35 to 40,000 years old, right? But we want to come down and dig a bit more deep because we haven't hit the floor yet, and that could then tell us anywhere from 55 to 60,000 years. So let's just take that, right, as an example of how long Yindjibarndi been on this country. If they find it is 55, 60,000 years, come on. I mean, you can't dispute that. You can't deny it as well. So that's the fear. See, the fear is that most of the people done wrong, and they don't want to admit that they done wrong. But they also understand as well. Ngaranglis want to go back to their country, look at these important sacred sites, and work with these people. We're not asking for anything more. We're not saying you have to pack up your things and go away and all this sort of stuff. We know that that's still a big challenge and something that is take many years to do. And the population for First Nation people in the country as well is not as much as the rest of the population. And we got no desire of being divisive or anything like that. It's more of working together with people, and that's what the new act was really about for me. It's about building relationship and then long-term partnerships, right? But acknowledging that First Nation people still exist, and that part of the country where they are, whether it's a farm or a station or a mining activity or whatever, have connection to people who fund that area, and then you have to build a relationship, right? Well, no, exactly. And look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, any challenge is going to be rough, right? But what makes the journey easy, I think, for any group or any nation, is that you stay together. If you make a choice to, stand up for your right, if you're doing it together, then at least you're going to be, in this fight together.